I've met a member of Thai nobility who is fascinated by the origins of Thai cuisine, as I'm sure you will be too. I'm Thomas Robson, and this is Entree to Asia. When you start to explore a new cuisine, there's nothing better than meeting someone who can shed a little light on the mysteries that you face. Morm Luang Siri is someone who is especially qualified to enlighten us regarding Thai cuisine. Kun Siri is the great-great-grandson of King Rama V of Thailand. Both Kun Siri and his father, Mr. Tanatsi, are recognized as gourmets in Thailand, but for different reasons. Mr. Tanatsi is well known as an expert on original Thai cuisine, while his son is an accomplished French-trained chef. Kun Siri has a unique approach towards Western and Thai cuisines that explains both in better ways. We met at the restaurant Swan Tip, a large Thai garden with several large and small pavilions set about the property, providing a comfortable and peaceful environment in authentic old Thai surroundings. Kun Siri discussed the 4 basics of original Thai cuisine: grilling, boiling, salads, and dips. Understanding the origins of a cuisine, he said, guides us in our efforts to recreate it in our own homes.
Tom yum is original for sure. Right?
With water?
With water.
So no stock, no...
Nothing. At the end of the olden days, you know that Thai food, when we cook Thai food, all the bones are chopped into the food already, so that when you boil, as cooking process, boiling, you extract the sweet flavor from the bones.
Kun Siri, could you introduce the chef to us and give us an idea what's going to happen?
This is Kun Pa Saing, and we're going to make Tom Yum Gung, which I'm sure everybody in the West
Very popular,
recognizes,
number
right?
1 Thai dish.
Okay.
Tom Yum Goong.
Okay. But, we're going. This is soup or stock, actually. It's either pork or chicken.
Right.
Chicken stock. This dish is so quick and so simple. You bring the liquid to boil. ต้มให้เดือดเฉยๆเลยใช่ไหมจ๊ะ? I'm going to be speaking in 2 languages. Once it starts to boil, and Thai stock doesn't have celery, onions, or carrots, or anything like that.
So it's a clear meat broth.
Okay. Once it starts to boil, she's going to put all the mushrooms and tomato.
So now the mushrooms would be what we call the straw mushroom,
Straw
right?
mushrooms. Okay. Straw mushrooms and tomato. The tomato are the small, fairly tart tomatoes, and not the
So they don't have to be
Italian plum
perfectly
tomato.
ripe.
No,
They can be.
don't have to.
Maybe a cherry tomato would work at home.
Yes, it would.
Perfect.
Yes.
ตะไคร้
Lemongrass.
ไคร้นี่ใบมะกรูด
Okay. Lemongrass and kaffir lime leaves.
Kaffir lime leaves.
Okay. I think in Thailand we now make them in dry.
But they lose so much of their aroma. It works, but
ใส่
Once everything is boiling, she sliced these things so thin, especially the lemongrass, which releases the oil from the lemongrass, and it goes in there. Now you put the shrimp in. It's very simple.
so if you weren't really confident with the knife and slicing very thinly, you could just hammer the
Smack
lemongrass.
it. Right. Smash it down. Bruise it. You'll release the oil. And I'm sorry to say, it's that Thai peasants. Tom Yam Goong, the peasant way, is smack and then in big chunks.
Okay, so easily you can avoid the pieces in the
Right.
in the soup.
Right.
And tom means to boil.
To boil. Yum is something that is a salad. But why do we use the word yum? Yum because it's sour.
Okay.
And แล้วหลังจากนั้นล่ะคะ?
ใส่
After that,
ปลาค่ะ
you put nam pla, which is our fish sauce.
And the Thai fish sauce really is pretty much the best in Southeast Asia.
It is the best. It doesn't smell too bad. Have you ever used it for Caesar salad dressing?
Yeah, frequently. Anywhere where I want an anchovy taste, I'll use the
And then
napla.
lime juice or lime. Okay, ขอบคุณครับ Here's the lime juice. Don't let the shrimp cook too long. And the leading taste, it's sour come first.
Okay.
And then the saltiness from the fish sauce. And then the sweetness from the shrimp. That is all. And the scent you will get. Okay. And then the chili peppers.
พริกหั่นอันนี้เป็นเม็ด
Prick hand. Chili peppers. Prick hand.
Now the chili is important not just for the heat, but especially the flavor of the
It
chili.
has a flavor and has this wonderful
จาน
scent.
น้ำมันพริกเผาปะเอา
So now here are chilies that have been crushed a little bit.
You look at her. She's going to put the tom yum goong into a bowl first, but it follows with the chili peppers that is bruised, so that the flavor and the smell is not so strong as to
I
give you
see.
too much heat. You don't boil it with it.
But then you just sort of, when you're eating, you kind of watch out for it. Or if you like it hot, then there you are. You chew on those.
I call them bombs.
Appropriate name.
Yes.
เสร็จแล้วก็ใส่ผักชี
Okay. And then you put cilantro.
Last minute again, so that the aroma is imparted
Right.
without being wasted,
Right.
boiled away.
And then a little bit of chili. Okay. And a little bit of chili pepper. It's such a simple soup to make. All you need is kaffir lime leaves and lemongrass.
Now, I've seen them dried for sure, but in a lot of the larger cities I've been to, the fresh kaffir lime leaf is almost everywhere.
It is everywhere now.
The trick for us in North America and elsewhere now is to look for a large Lao community. The Thais, it seems the Thais love to stay in Thailand. They do set up elsewhere, but the Lao community really brings all those fresh ingredients with
their
them.
food is similar to ours. That's the thing.
Wow. Aroy di mai?
อร่อยไหมครับ
อร่อย
อร่อยไหม You want to taste?
Oh,
ชิม
Chim.
ชิมเลยค่ะ
Yeah, I'll take it out for you.
ขอบคุณครับ
Let's try this.
All right, I'm looking forward to this. Everybody in the restaurants, they make such a big deal of it. And I'll tell you at home, the trick here, do not slurp the soup. Spoon it down.
The other thing about it is I need to tell you that we leave the heads on.
The shrimp heads.
The shrimp heads. The reason why we clean it out, but then there is the shrimp coral that's in
Okay,
there.
like the tamale and the lobster.
Right, and it's in here.
I can see from the color of the floating on
Right,
top there.
and it gives you a little bit of creaminess to the soup.
Exactly. Now, so many times at home, restaurants, everybody says, oh, secret recipe, complicated to make, you don't have a chance. I can't believe how simple this is, and really, and so quick. Since Bangkok has traditionally been called the Venice of the East because of its many canals and waterways, you might be left with the impression that boats such as these are the main mode of transportation. But before I dove in, so to speak, I decided to try a more animated means of getting from point A to point B. This isn't as strange as you might think. Elephants are still used today all over Thailand. The once prominent city of Ayutthaya was the original capital of Thailand until the mid-1700s. Although a day trip from Bangkok, it is worth every minute spent on board a bus or in a car to reach this stunning example of old Thailand. At times, it seems as though little has changed here over the centuries, and yes, the canals are the main thoroughfares, not to mention home to most convenience stores. This is a great way to start the day. A bowl of noodles, very light, very healthy. Gives you a good start to a long, hot day floating down the canals. Bangkok used to be known as the Venice of the East. In the last few generations, Klong side or canal side living has taken a harsh beating. However, there still remain remnants of this famous riverside life in Bangkok. Here we are in Klong Morn, just off the Chao Phraya River. You know, if you wanted to settle down on the Klong side, you'd have a heck of a life, moving by boat every day, this way and that. Just think about setting up a kitchen. What would you do? Well, we've got a few ideas if you ever decide to be so adventurous as to set up living beside the Klong in Bangkok. This, believe it or not, is a stove. You fill it with charcoal up here. You regulate the fire with a little slider like that, carefully moving it to adjust the heat. This flashy model here is a little bit more basic, and you can carry it like a pail, very convenient. Hawkers might use this one. You just keep feeding the fire right through there. As for control, I think here you're going with quite a fierce fire. It's a beautiful item. Now, you want to go modern, you want to go upscale, well, here's a beauty. You see this in a lot of homes and a lot of hawker stalls now, and this is a gas burner. Line and a regulator off of here, a couple of little control switches underneath this plastic wrapping to keep them shiny, and you're cooking with gas. What are you going to do about cooking rice? Let's go traditional. Have a look at this beautiful, beautiful item. Looks like a pot. Actually, the bottom is filled with holes. Inside, the wood is wonderfully finished. Simply line the bottom with a banana leaf, put in some rice that has already been soaked with water for 3 or 4 hours, and then, believe it or not, fill your wok with water, get it boiling, and sit it right down in the wok. Carefully maintain the water level while it boils, and you're going to get the most amazing rice as it picks up the flavor from the wood and the banana leaf. Already we're on our way to a functional kitchen, setting up shop, if we wish to, in Southeast Asia. When we talk about Thai food, many people begin to think incendiary chili heat, high BTUs. In reality, what's important in Thai food is a careful balance, a subtle harmony between hot, sour, sweet, salty, and bitter. That's the real key behind good Thai cooking. So if you're worried about the intense heat, thinking that maybe Bangkok's not for you, well, keep in mind, we're going to show you what that balance can be about and how it's possible to have authentic tasting Thai food without necessarily a searing, heart-burning experience. Siri's fascination with the old-style techniques is infectious, so I thought it would be great fun today to do a dish that would show us at least 2 of these techniques. The dish is called Tom Klong Gung Yang, and what that means is a boiled soup with grilled prawns and a few other things. So our first technique, I think, obviously, is going to be grilling. And over here I have a lovely little grill. This is of Korean manufacture, and it's meant for doing dishes like bulgogi, or you can cook anything on there, fish, chicken, and so on. Just heat it up under a gas or electric source of heat. What I'm grilling is some shallot onions and garlic, and I'm just letting them develop a wonderful roasty, caramelized character. If you want to do this over a live fire, well, then use some coals that are a little bit on the older side. That is to say, they're well ashed over and the heat is not too fierce. You're grilling, not burning. So here we have something else we'll grill, and these are some dried red chilies. This harkens back to the old days when the Portuguese first came to Southeast Asia, bringing chilies with them, and of course dried chilies would have been the ones they would have shipped in the boats, and that's what would have first been introduced to countries like Thailand. So I'm going to move the grilled garlic and shallots off here, put them in a handy bowl. And the chilies, well, they should be just about done. I can smell their aroma. Don't need to worry about getting both sides. I've just got a couple of nice brown flecks on these. I'm going to take them off the grill now. You see, it doesn't take very long at all, and this does a world of difference to the flavor of the dried chili. I'll put that here with the garlic and the shallots. Now, Tom Klong Gung Yang. Well, it has grilled shrimp, and let's look at another great way to be doing some grilling. You can grill, believe it or not, shrimp and other kinds of seafood in aluminum foil over a gas burner. Now, gas is recommended. Coals are fine too. Electrical burners will work, but you need heavy-duty aluminum foil. And whereas I have 2 layers here, you'll need at least 3. So really what I recommend here is over a little gas fire. And this looks good at the tabletop, as you'll see. So you might want to consider having one of these handy. They're great little burners. Click them on. They're very safe, and they provide a good source of heat. Okay, what happened to these shrimp? Well, we use these shrimp peeled, cleaned up, toss them with salt, and let them sit for just a few minutes. Now that's a teaspoonful or less of salt for an amount of shrimp like this. 10 minutes later, rinse them off and pat them dry. This helps give them a nice crispy texture and beautiful color when they're done cooking. Now, big couple of pieces of aluminum foil, and I'm going to oil them. Just dip a paper towel in some oil. And you don't need to spread it right to the sides. That's beautiful. Get the old chopsticks going, handy kitchen utensils if ever there were any, and in go the shrimp. If you do a lot of shrimp, well, make a point of making at least 2 packages. These are fairly small shrimp. That guarantees they're going to cook quickly. And try not to stack them up too much. Maybe 2 deep is the most you'll want to ever stack them up. I'm aiming for 1 single layer here, so we can show you how quickly this can be done. Can't have us sitting in front of the TV all day long. Fold it over and then seal it up as well as you can. I'm going to start right here on one of the sides. Fold it over once, fold it over twice. 3 times should be more than enough. There we go. On the other side now, once, twice, and again 3 times. Make a nice, well-sealed package. And at the front end, there we go. Again, 3 folds. Perfect. From this point, you can leave the shrimp handy in the fridge, for an hour or 2. No problem. Working with high heat, okay? Take the package of the shrimp, carefully lay it onto the fire, away from you like that. From here, it'll take about a minute on one side and then another 40 seconds on the other side. And pretty soon you're going to see it's going to balloon up and you're going to smell the aroma of barbecued shrimp. Day 6. Southeast Asia continues to be one of my favorite travel destinations. The food, the people, and the culture all make for an exciting and eye-opening experience. But there's one thing that stands out in this part of the world, one aspect of life that simply can't be avoided: religion. Here in Thailand, for instance, Buddhism is integrated into everything. Life itself revolves around it, and Buddha is more than just a figurehead and symbol. Throughout Thailand, and especially here in Bangkok, the visage of Buddha is omnipresent and appears in many different forms and sizes. In this particular temple, or wat as the Thais call it, this reclining Buddha may be a tourist attraction for some, but in fact just as many locals visit to pay their respects as foreigners do. I don't think I've seen the last of Buddha. Isn't this great? Look at this blowing up here. There we are. Now it's been about 40 seconds on this side, and these shrimp are now done. So I'm going to give it another blast because that's so much fun. And I'm going to carefully now take this package off of my grill, and all kinds of basic kitchen tongs can be used for this. I wish I could name a brand name product right now because I'm sure this brings back a lot of memories for folks. Little television snacks and so on, but in this case we have something very luxurious. The grilled shrimp. Be careful when you're opening this dish because there's hot steam and you don't want to get burned. I wish I could share the aroma with you right now. This smell is so delicious. And there we have a lovely bunch of grilled shrimp. So that's another approach to grilling that's really fun and really effective. Works especially well with seafoods. The next step in our dish is going to be that second technique that I was talking about, and that is boiling. Okay, we've covered our grilling end of sort of things, some great options, and now we're going to look at some boiling or some simmering. We'll make a soup with the grilled shrimp and the grilled onions and garlic. First, we're going to make seasoning paste for the soup, and this is something basic in Thai cuisine. I'm going to take some coriander root, Here's sort of where the leaves would come up and so on. Simply trim it off and cut it up into little bits, okay? I'm going to put that aside. I have the chopped coriander root with the mortar and pestle. Always use a little sprinkle of coarse salt to help break up the fibers of what you're pounding. In go the coriander root bits. Silence the knife. And there we are. Next, some peppercorns. These could be fresh peppercorns, pickled peppercorns, or white, even better, black, the other way around. Black peppercorn is okay, but the best choice is the white peppercorn. I'm using a pickled fresh peppercorn because I really like its flavor. Remember, you're adding your own touch at this point. Pound that up, add some garlic, and pound that up as well. This mixture, garlic, coriander root, peppercorn, is as fundamental to Thai cooking as is salt and pepper in our cuisines. Let's say Western cuisines. And you can use this for seasoning a soup like we're doing today, mixing it in hamburgers, put it on chicken before you barbecue and allow it to marinate. These are different ways that the Thais use this same paste. There we are. So we're ready to move over to the other side of the table here, my little cooking area. We're talking about an old style soup here, one that's made with basic ingredients, and I don't think you can get much more basic than water, that's for sure. We'll start off the soup by adding some slices of galanga. Now here's some galanga root just so you can get an idea of what galanga is like. It's a root, it's very, very aromatic, sort of looks like ginger, but the smell, well, I'll break off a little knob here. Oh yes. The smell is kind of like fresh eucalyptus. It's a wonderful ingredient and crucial to Thai cooking. If you can't find it fresh in a Lao or Vietnamese or even Thai market, well then consider using the dried slices. Those are readily available. Soak them and then we'll add them into the soup. And the next ingredient will be some stalk of lemongrass. We'll put in a fair amount. And here's what lemongrass looks like fresh. And the part that you use is just below here, so cut off sort of the top portions and then go all the way down to about the bottom. And this is the tenderest area to work with. If you can't find it fresh, it's available dried as well. Same story as the galanga, simply soak it and then use it. So that's going in there. Now also we have our grilled shallots and our grilled onions. So you can get them off the skewer as I'm going to do here. Look, they're all so soft and aromatic. Put those right in right away. Give us a nice flavor. So in a way, we've got so many aromatic items in here, it's almost like starting a stock because we've got all kinds of basics for good tastes and good aromas going right in here. We'll just put this back down. All right, next is our seasoning paste, coriander, garlic, and peppercorns. Oh yes, the smell of old Siam. A little splash of lime juice. Lime juice is always the choice when it comes to Thai cookery. And another important ingredient is tamarind or tamarind water. I'm going to put that in here. Tamarind can be bought in a small block. Look for ones that are soft, it's the pulp, and simply break off a piece, mix it into some warm water, work it with your fingers, and then strain it. And you'll get a wonderful, delicious, sour liquid. It has that earthy tone of tamarind that's so delicious. Fish sauce, about 2½ tablespoons. A pinch of sugar, just a bit. Give this a stir. Oh yes, an old style Thai traditional dish. And the last item will be our grilled shrimp. And what's lovely about grilling shrimp the way that we've done today is that you get a lot of juice. Now usually grilling, that juice would be lost to the fire, but in this case we keep this juice. We've almost got a concentrated shrimp stock, but with the flavor, unmistakably the flavor of barbecue. So we add in all the juice and then the shrimp. Now since the shrimp are thoroughly cooked through at this point, we turn off the fire. We'll give the dish a final stir. And there we have Tom Klong Gung Yang, a traditional Thai soup from the old days using just the oldest of techniques, grilling and simmering. We've been so lucky to meet individuals who are eager to share the history of their culture and also the historical techniques of their cuisine. More history and more techniques coming up next time on Entree to Asia. I'm Thomas Robson.
To find out more about Entree to Asia, including recipes and program descriptions, visit our website at www.entreetoasia.com.